All right, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself on the count of three. 1, 2, 3, get it.
My name's Kellen, and this is my 350Z. It's a 2003. It's based off of the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift model. So it's essentially the villain car. As you can see by it, it's not 100% completed yet. The wheels still have to be fitted to the car. A lot of the parts for these cars are hard to find because a lot of those companies aren't even in business anymore. They're no longer making parts, so some of the parts you have to find them used and you have to find them on sale. So it's been a heck of a project, but it's been really fun. It's brought me in touch with a couple of the actors from the franchise. We do an annual cruise where we take a lot of the replica cars out, and it's a really cool sight going down the highway having all the cars together.
너무 웃긴 게 분노의 절주의 자동차의 레플리카잖아요. 그런데 친한 친구가 누구냐면 썬캥이라고 Fast and Furious에서 나왔던 아시죠? 한국분. 그분이 사실은 Fast and Furious 하기 전에 우리 뮤직비디오 거짓말의 주인공이었습니다.
미안해.
And now 너무 웃긴 거는 여기 지금 콜벳들만 미국 American Muscle Meat인데 얘는 커버하러 왔을 때 이 자동차 누가 계란 던질까봐 저기 숨겨놓은 게 일본 차를 이분들은 별로 안 좋아하기 때문에. Now, this is a Corvette Cars and Coffee. Tell us why your car was parked way over there and not here.
Well, because I wanted to be respectful for the event. Obviously, sometimes this car can draw quite a bit of attention, and I didn't feel that it fit in.
You just didn't want to get your ass kicked.
I thought Johnny Tran was in here. You know? But
That's funny.
Yeah, I just didn't want to interfere with the ambiance of the Corvette Society today.
You know, I'm going to give you 15 seconds to promote your channel because he does car coverage. Do you do YouTube or is it just Instagram?
No, I have a YouTube channel that I've posted some stuff too, but a lot of it's just repeat of my Instagram. My Instagram is supercarkellen.
많이 들어가서 봐주세요. 왜냐면 이런 친구들도 시작하는데 뭐 연예인도 아니고 알려지지 않았기 때문에 사람들이 많이 팔로우는 안 하지만 그래도 커버는 잘하니까는. You just do Southern California car culture in this area, right?
Yeah. If I had the time, I'd be driving this thing all over the country.
So what else do you have? It looks good from the side, but the wheels look like poo-poo.
Yeah, they do.
So you need wheel은 지금 조금 작 같아. 지금 offset 자체가 지금 너무 들었어. What else do you have left to do on this car?
The seats are on order. They're Sparco Evo L seats, and I didn't understand how much was involved with seats, the base plates, the frames. So I'm learning as I go, just as anyone else with their project cars. I'm learning a lot along the way. I've actually tried to fit GT500 wheels on the back, and I'm still off on the offset.
Because look at it. I mean, this is a substantial. This is the width of a 930.
Yeah.
911 turbo.
Yeah.
It's really wide, so you need a huge offset for this. And I think, plus, I have to be honest, all the OGs know the cars on Fast and Furious were kind of shit, to be honest with you. Like, you know, I'm
design-wise, even the directors will agree with that.
Dude, you know, I'm from the OG days. I started tuning cars mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
And I was into the JDM scene, so like to see that movie, we're like, what? We liked sleeper cars where it was really clean.
Right, simple.
That's simple.
It didn't look highly modified.
That's right.
But it would destroy you.
Who puts freaking baby 새끼야? Who puts bugs? Who puts pictures of bugs and eagles and that was a muscle car thing, right? Not a.
Do you know what it reminds me of? You probably remember this, but before there were Power Rangers, they had these three guys called the Beetle Boys.
Oh yeah.
And they had beetles on top of their helmets, but they were just like Power Rangers. I feel like a Power Ranger driving it.
So now what's this? Explain to me. Explain to me. What is this? What are all these signatures?
Oh, so the signatures on the dashboard here. Don't show them the gear shift lever.
Yeah, sacrilege.
No.
Auto. Oh, okay, yeah.
So the signature is actually the first signature that I got on it. Chad Lindbergh, the guy that plays Jesse in the original Fast and the Furious that drives the white Jetta. Right. I had all of the body kit in my trunk and it was broken, but I knew I was gonna build the car, so I told Chad, hey, can you sign it overnight parts from Japan?
Yeah.
Because it's original Veilside body kit.
Right.
So I wanted him to write that on the dash. I thought that would be funny. And then this signature is Hiroshi Tamura, who's the chief design engineer. I hope I'm getting that right. Chief design engineer for the Nissan Z and the GTR. So he designed those cars.
내가 왜 얘가 나한테 와갖고 걸어가다 네 목소리가 누구 닮? Who did you say my voice was like?
Oh, Rocky Balboa.
Hey, yo, Paulie. Hey.
But you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up.
Hey, Hey, that ain't nice. I know. It's funny because I went to the press conference for Dragon Ball Evolution, the movie that I filmed, and when they're interviewing me, one of the guys from Europe goes, "Do you know that your voice sounds like Sylvester Stallone?"
So you have been told that
Yeah,
before. Okay.
it was funny. So.
And I think it's important nowadays that you respect builds of any kind, you know, whether it's JDM, body kits. I think it's important to give people the respect they deserve on their builds because it takes a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort, and a lot of sacrifice to build any kind of car, no matter what it is. So with that in mind, do good things. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you very much, my brother.
Of course, dude.
자, 많은 코르벳들이 있었습니다. American Muscle. 그리고 이 단체 그룹 미팅 너무나도 멋있었지만 우리 엔딩은 of course this. 참 귀한 자동차입니다. It's not a normal 964.
Hello, my name is Matt Andrews, and I'm the owner of this 1992 US Carrera Cup car.
Now tell me, you know, like a lot of people, when they look at this car, most average, they don't know what it is. They think it's just a, you know, because of the mirrors, they're gonna know it's a 92 on up 964, but what is this car?
So this car was a homologation unit for a series that actually never existed. So in other parts of the world, Porsche started a Cup series in Europe and in Asia based on the 964. They had intention of creating that series here in the US. However, they had a couple problems. Early 90s, Porsche got in trouble with US DOT for driving Porsche 959s on the street. And so the US government said you cannot import any car that is not homologated for the street and ready to use here. So in order to start the series in the US, Porsche had to build 45 race cars, seam welded chassis, hot engines, all those things, but they couldn't put the roll cages in them. They had to put airbags in them and get them ready for the street. They imported those 45 cars and then were not able to find a title sponsor for the series and had to cancel the series. Wow. So of those 45 cars, 30 of them went and got roll cages and were converted into race cars. 15 were never touched. This is one of those 15. Wow. So it is a full race car, magnesium engine mount, steel cut gear, synchro gears, very hot car, just no roll cage with a very small interior, very subtle, and nobody knows what they are.
Where did you acquire this car?
So this is not my first 964. And so I bought parts for old Porsches from a gentleman in San Diego for many years, and he had this car. Oh. And so I actually was looking to acquire a 964 RS. Long story short, I had a deal fall apart. He took pity on me and sold me this car.
Oh my God. 이 자동차 되게 귀한 자동차예요. 이 자동차를 일로 갖고 오려면 알다시피 양산차로 만들려면은 자동차를 45개를 만들어 갖고 크래시 테스트도 하고 다 이렇게 해갖고 만들었는데 Carrera Cup 시리즈가 여기에는 캔슬이 됐어요. 그래서 이 자동차들은 30대는 진짜로 사람들이 그냥 자기 개인 레이싱했고 15대는 그냥 건들지도 않고 새 차로 갖고 있었는데 그 차 중에 하나가 귀한 차입니다. Now, so explain to us, like, you know, apart from the regular 964, the suspension, everything, all the setup is different. How different is it?
Sure. Chassis-wise, they did several things. Seam welded full chassis. The glass is thinner than stock. Aluminum bonnets and hoods. The doors, here, listen to this. If you listen to normal doors close, right, there's nothing in it.
텅텅 들었지? It's regular Porsche, when you hit it, you just hear the tung. This one is like tung, 다 폈어.
So aluminum skins, no, I mean, it's several hundred pounds lighter than stock.
Right, and that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. But then when you move into suspension componentry, that is different. The synchros in the gearbox, the normal gearbox has brass synchros, right, so they're softer. These are steel. Magnesium engine mounts, blueprinted and balanced from the factory engines. It's a bunch of small, subtle things, but that's what makes the difference between their race cars and their street cars.
No, that's just every little thing counts. You know, it's like they say a couple hundred pounds. What's that? The couple hundred pounds is a big guy sitting on the thing. It took a big diet, you know, and not to mention the suspension geometry on this car is substantially way better than the regular 964. And even the Cup wheels, they have a bigger offset, so it sticks out further without having to put, you know, anything else on there.
8s and 9.5s as opposed to 7s and 8s, right, is what they came from.
And 9.5s on this car with a narrow body is, you know, that's, yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah.
Brakes were bigger. I mean, it's all subtle pieces, right? And I think that when people modify a current car, they look for really big changes from one part. And the way Porsche did this was many small, subtle changes make a really substantial difference.
Come on, Germans, dude. They're very technical. Everything is like, you know, I just wanted to film this car because it's such a big difference from the American muscle, which it's all about horsepower, straight line performance. Yeah, I know they have the midships now, but the American history, the legendary muscle cars are all straight line drag cars. This is a scalpel.
Yeah.
You know,
Very much is.
Yeah.
So we have other cars as well, and my son was asking me, is this faster than a 355? And I said to him this morning, he's like, well, where? On the highway? Probably not.
No.
But if you want to go and put this on a road course where this is supposed to be, it's a very different thing.
Sure. Man, so how long have you had this car?
About 5 years. It's special in California because you can't get a European RS registered here because of all the smog and those sorts of things. This is a 50-state legal car.
So awesome, dude. You're so privileged, man. You're so. If you don't mind me, how much you end up paying for just me? Just me. We don't need to tell them.
Like 5 years ago?
Yeah. Oh man, that's
That was on. That's great. Now they know.
But that's 5 years ago. Now this is doubled probably.
Yeah. In fact, actually, I have a 964 RS in blue that is my track car.
Yeah.
And this.
You don't track this.
I know, and I don't collect. I like to drive things,
Right.
so these have become so valuable. I struggle to own it.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of
I know,
that.
I know
So
what you mean.
You can't do more than drive it to a place like this.
Oh, geez, yeah, and that's the thing. Like me, I kicked myself in the back of the head because back in 2002 at Newport Imports, they had a F40, and it had 500 miles. And the guy goes, "This is the lowest mile F40 you'll find in the world, most likely." And I go, "Okay." I go, "How much?" He says, 240. I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Well, actually, we'll do 225. I go, what's the give?" And he goes, "It hasn't been driven since 1993, so you have to do everything because you're gonna have to put about another 200 grand into it." But now when you look at it, that would have been the ticket.
That's the Halo car.
Oh God!
Yeah,
So
I have somebody who's been interested in this who has an F40. I'm like, well, they're trade.
yeah. No, but dude, but this is rare. This is
yeah,
rare.
absolutely. It's a
really
lot of fun.
rare.
It puts a smile on my face every time I drive it.
Well, thank you so much, brother.
Awesome, man.
And
Good to meet you.
Enjoy the car, and you know what? Pass it on to him. Look at him. He's waiting patiently. Say hi. Say, "Dad, give me the car."
Give me the car.
So awesome. Thanks a lot, brother.
Awesome, man.
Karcher man. Yo, get it, yo. Let's go get it, Karcher man. 여러분, 진짜로 이 캘리포니아 날씨, 그리고 또 아침 일찍 새새끼들이 삐약삐약거리고 사람들은 커피 들고 은은한 커피 향기에 마시면서 친구들과 함께 통일성 하나 갖고 있는 거, one common ground. 자동차 때문에 이렇게 만나서 나이 들으신 분들 배 여기까지 나오고 스티어링 그 배가 닿고 it's on their stomachs, their steering wheels. 하지만 그 패션 하나 때문에 만나서 건전하게 즐거운 시간 한 2시간 동안 나누고 또 집에 가서 자기 평상시 생활로 다시 돌아가는 이게 car culture입니다. 여러분들도 그런 car culture 그리고 또 hobby, 자동차 아니어도 됩니다. 아까 이 친구가 얘기했듯이 자동차 build, respect 하려는 거 분야가 다 다르지만 그래도 그 사람은 그 분야에서 그만큼 노력하고 자기만의 스트레스 회복이기 때문에 자동차나 뭐 서핑이나 자전거 타는 거나 아니면 축구나 다 취미 생활 서로 리스펙트 해주면서 자기 스트레스 회복하고 건전한 세상 life 살기 바랍니다. So follow, like, subscribe, and Karcher Man will be there on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, BAM! Woo! 일로 나가고 절로 세게 갈 거래. 여기서 찍으라고. 야, 워터.